Debunking Atheism. A critical examination of atheism, assumptions and shortcomings. Atheism, defined as a belief that God does not exist, or as a lack of belief in God or gods, is often presented as a rational and scientific alternative to religious belief. Proponents argue that atheism is grounded in logic, evidence, and reason, while theism is seen as a relic of superstition and blind faith. However, a deeper examination of atheism reveals that it is based on certain assumptions that are not as rational as they are claimed to be. This video aims to debunk atheism by critically analyzing its core assumptions, its reliance on naturalism, and its inability to address key philosophical and existential questions. 1. The assumptions underlying atheism. Atheism often presents itself as a neutral or default position, claiming that it merely represents a lack of belief rather than a belief system in itself. However, this characterization is misleading. Atheism, especially in its more assertive forms, involves making certain claims about the nature of reality, claims that require justification. One of the fundamental assumptions of atheism is that the natural world is all that exists, and that anything beyond the material universe is either non-existent or unknowable. This assumption is not based on empirical evidence but on a metaphysical commitment to naturalism, the belief that everything can be explained by natural causes without recourse to the supernatural. However, naturalism is itself a worldview that requires defense, as it is not a self-evident truth. For example, the question of why there is something rather than nothing is a profound philosophical problem that naturalism struggles to address. If the universe had a beginning, as indicated by the Big Bang theory, then what caused it to come into existence? Naturalistic explanations, such as the multiverse hypothesis or quantum fluctuations, are speculative and lack empirical evidence. And they fail the test of logic, due to the impossibility of crossing a past infinite regress to get to the present moment in time. By contrast, theism posits a transcendent cause, God, who is the uncaused cause of everything that exists. This explanation is logically coherent and provides a more rational answer than atheism does to the question of the universe's origin. Atheism also assumes that empirical evidence is the only valid basis for knowledge. This assumption, known as empiricism, is not itself empirically verifiable. The belief that only empirical evidence is valid is a philosophical claim that cannot be proven through sensory observation or experimentation. Thus, atheism's reliance on empiricism is based on a circular argument that fails to justify its own foundational principles. 2. The inadequacy of naturalism. Atheism is closely associated with naturalism, the belief that everything in the universe can be explained by natural processes and that there is no need for a supernatural explanation. However, naturalism faces significant challenges when it comes to explaining certain aspects of reality, such as consciousness, morality, and the fine-tuning of the universe. Consciousness. One of the most significant challenges to naturalism is the problem of consciousness. How does a purely physical process give rise to subjective experience? Despite advances in neuroscience, the hard problem of consciousness, how and why we have subjective experiences, remains impossible to resolve. Naturalism is unable to account for the qualitative aspects of consciousness, such as the experience of color, pain, or emotion, which are irreducible to mere physical processes. Theism, by contrast, posits that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of reality, reflecting the nature of a conscious, intentional creator. Morality. Another challenge for atheistic naturalism is the grounding of objective moral values. If the universe is purely material and governed by impersonal laws, then it is impossible for objective moral truths to exist. Under naturalism, morality is reduced to social conventions or evolutionary byproducts, leading to moral relativism, the belief that moral values are subjective and vary from person to person or culture to culture. However, the majority of people intuitively believe in objective moral truths, that certain actions, such as murder or torture, are inherently wrong regardless of societal norms or individual opinions. Theism provides a robust foundation for objective morality by grounding moral values in the character of God, who is the ultimate standard of goodness. Fine-tuning. The fine-tuning of the universe, the precise conditions necessary for life to exist, is another phenomenon that naturalism is not able to explain. The constants and laws of physics are extremely finely tuned to allow for life, a fact that many atheists acknowledge but attribute to chance or the multiverse hypothesis. However, the multiverse hypothesis is speculative and does not solve the problem of fine-tuning. It merely shifts the question to the origin and fine-tuning of the multiverse itself. Theism, on the other hand, offers a straightforward explanation. The universe is finely tuned because it was designed by an intelligent creator with the intention of supporting life. 3. The existential void of atheism. Atheism also faces significant challenges when it comes to addressing the existential questions that have occupied human thought for millennia. Questions about the meaning of life, the purpose of existence, and the nature of human destiny are impossible to answer, in a rational manner, from an atheistic perspective. Meaning and purpose. If atheism is true and the universe is the product of random, purposeless processes, then life itself has no inherent meaning or purpose. Any meaning or purpose that individuals find in their lives must be self-created and subjective, leading to the existentialist conclusion that life is ultimately absurd. While some atheists embrace this conclusion, many people find it deeply unsatisfying, as it fails to account for the universal human expectation for meaning and purpose that transcends individual existence. Theism, by contrast, provides a framework in which life has inherent meaning and purpose. According to Christianity, human beings are created by God with a specific purpose in mind, and the ultimate meaning of life is found in a relationship with the Creator. This theistic perspective offers a more fulfilling answer to the existential questions that atheism is unable to resolve. Human destiny. Atheism is unable to provide a satisfying account of human destiny. If there is no afterlife, and death is the end of consciousness, then human life is ultimately insignificant in the grand scheme of things. The inevitability of death and the finality of non-existence can lead people to a sense of despair or nihilism, as the efforts and achievements of a lifetime are rendered meaningless in the face of oblivion. Theism, on the other hand, offers the expectation of an afterlife, where the injustices of this world are rectified, and the longing for eternal life is fulfilled. This belief in an afterlife provides a coherent and optimistic answer to the question of human destiny, one that resonates with the deepest aspirations of the human spirit. 4. The limits of empirical evidence. Atheism often emphasizes the importance of empirical evidence as the only valid means of acquiring knowledge. However, this emphasis on empiricism is itself a philosophical stance that is not empirically justified. There are many aspects of human experience that cannot be captured by empirical science, such as aesthetics, morality, consciousness, and metaphysical truths. Aesthetics. The experience of beauty, whether in art, nature, or human relationships, is a fundamental aspect of human life that transcends empirical explanation. While science can explain the physical processes involved in perceiving beauty, it cannot explain why beauty matters or why it has such a profound impact on the human soul. Theism offers an explanation by positing that beauty reflects the nature of a creator who is the source of all goodness and harmony. Metaphysical truths. Questions about the existence of God, the nature of reality, and the origin of the universe are not purely empirical but involve metaphysical reasoning. Empirical science can only study what is observable and measurable, but the most profound questions of existence often lie beyond the scope of scientific inquiry. Theism, by engaging with metaphysical questions, offers a more comprehensive approach to understanding reality. 5. The philosophical shortcomings of atheism. Finally, atheism faces significant philosophical challenges that undermine its claim to rational superiority. The problem of induction, the limits of human reason, and the epistemological challenges of justifying belief in a purely materialistic worldview all point to the limitations of atheism as a worldview. Problem of induction. The problem of induction, first articulated by the Scottish philosopher David Hume, highlights a fundamental issue with relying solely on empirical evidence. Inductive reasoning involves drawing general conclusions from specific observations, but there is no logical guarantee that the future will resemble the past. This means that even the most fundamental scientific principles are based on assumptions that cannot be empirically verified. Christianity, by positing a rational creator who has designed the universe with consistent laws, offers a solution to the problem of induction by providing a foundation for the regularity of nature. Limits of human reason. Human reason is a powerful tool, but it is also limited by cognitive biases, perceptual limitations, and the constraints of human experience. Atheism, which often elevates human reason as the ultimate arbiter of truth, fails to account for these limitations. Christianity, by acknowledging the limits of human understanding and the relevance of divine revelation, offers a more humble and holistic approach to knowledge. Conclusion. Atheism, often presented as the rational and scientific alternative to theism, is based on a series of assumptions and philosophical positions that are not as rational as they are claimed to be. The challenges of explaining the origin of the universe, grounding objective morality, and addressing existential questions all point to the limitations of atheism as a worldview. By contrast, theism offers coherent and more rational and satisfying answers to these questions, providing a more robust framework for understanding reality. In the end, the debate between atheism and theism is not merely a matter of science versus religion but involves deep philosophical questions about the nature of existence, the limits of human knowledge, and the ultimate purpose of life. A truly rational approach to these questions requires an openness to the existence of a transcendent God that goes beyond the material world. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts.